Hi, thanks very much for tuning in to the latest edition of the Edge of Next vlog, where we look at tools and techniques that can help you get into the future and really make a difference with your life and your career. Now, today's subject is something that I've touched upon before. I've experienced it in my life, and it's one that I think there are fundamentally no shortcuts, but being aware how to be focused and how to be successful is something I think everyone can really gain from. And that's probably more true today in the context of lots of us losing our job. I think today is a time where we can take stock and start to think about what you really want to do with your career. I've just spent an hour of my time watching the latest instalment of the latest version of the book The Secret. And this is a movie they've now got on the television, and honestly, you've got to get past the cheese even to start watching the thing. But if you've never come across The Secret's all about visualization and imagining what you want from your life, and the universe, the cosmos, will somehow send it to you. I wish it was that easy. Now, the premise of The Secret is that if you imagine what you want, the universe will bring it to you. Now, that's fine, and I think focusing on something isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you know what? It's got nothing to do with the universe or the cosmos. It's got to do with other things. And the first thing I think you should think about if you're looking for a career change, or you're looking for getting into an area where you really enjoy working, is to actually discover what your talents are. Because I might want to play rugby for Scotland, but I'm the wrong age, I'm the wrong size, and I haven't dedicated my life to actually becoming a rugby player for Scotland. And that's a clue to the second part of this. The one thing I've learned over the years is there's something that you have to focus on if you're going to get out of life what you want to get out of it. And that isn't easy, and that is hard graft. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, if you find something that you think you've got a little bit of talent, and that's all you need, a little bit of talent, and you want to stand out from everybody else, you need to start to make sacrifices. That sacrifice could take you away from your friends, it could take you away from your family, it could take you away from birthday parties, it can change your life. But the evidence is that if you really, really put the effort in, that's how you get close to being into the next phase of this, which is even more interesting. Now, let me give you an example. 18 months ago, I decided I wanted to be a professional speaker. Now, that was a big change for me because I'd spent best part of 10 years working in consulting, followed by setting up my own company with my other half, and we'd been basically working in the consulting world. We made good money, it was good work, we were all over the world, we did quite well at it. But I decided that I wanted to do something else. I wanted to use my artistic talent for what it is, and I wanted to do the thing that everybody told me I had a talent for, and that was professional speaking. So my inner working class lad from Carluke in Scotland had a real problem with that, because I had to leave a well-paid job and go into a job full of uncertainty. Now, I knew I was okay at public speaking. I also knew that I wasn't Ken Robinson. I also knew that there were other people much, much better than me. I had a habit of getting overexcited, my adrenaline would kick in, I would run around the stage, I would swear too much, all sorts of things, and I knew I did them. I'd had feedback, I knew I did them. So despite the fact I had lots of people telling me, yeah, you should be a professional speaker, Scott, I knew I wasn't the finished article. So what did I do? Well, I started to put the hours in. And other people will have heard me say this before. I believed to be good at what I do is, it's simple. You have to speak. You have to just get out there and speak. Now, there are those in the speaking industry who don't agree with that. They think you should wait for the right gig, you should perfect your keynote, you should practice that. But I believed that I had to get in front of an audience. I had to get personal feedback from an audience from across the sectors, not just in the corporate world, but also in the personal development world, which involves real people. Now, in the entrepreneurial world, there are all sorts of people out there selling courses. It'll be 6 weeks to excellence, or 6 weeks, 6 steps, or 12 steps. to your dream job. Now, some of these courses are pretty good and quite interesting, and they can start to focus you. But you're not going to go from zero to hero in 6 weeks. You're not going to go from being a beginner to an expert having done a 12-week course. You have to put the time in. You have to get the experience that people can see and feel, that authenticity when you actually start to do the thing on the big stage, in my example, where you're really trying to influence people and help them with tools and techniques to help them get into the future of work. So last year, I did 140 events. That meant I was travelling up and down the country. I was going to pubs and clubs, literally, to speak to 20 or 30 people. I was trying ideas out. I was trying to test where the idea worked, or where the tool really resonated with the audience, where the laugh worked when I occasionally used humour. And that started to inform how I built my speeches for the bigger stage. Now, that experience is so important, and I have to be honest, it was hard. It took me away from the house. I had to travel a lot. I didn't spend as much time with my children as I would like to have spent. But I knew that if I stuck at it, and because I had a little bit of talent in that area, that perhaps I could be good at it and make a living out of it. Now, as I've always said, and as I've frequently found, sometimes the poets say it better than I ever could. So I'm going to ask you to listen to one of my favourite poets, and that's Charles Bukowski, and his classic piece called Roll the Dice. But please hang around to the end of the poem, and I'll give you the formula with the secret ingredient that will show you how you can be successful at whatever you want to do, where you've got the talent, at work or at home. Over to you, Charles.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you are going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.